Hello guys, this is Armedfro here, and I got a OU match versus Biohazard. This is a very good match, actually extremely good match versus Biohazard. I actually played this guy before, and he did leave with his Espeon, so I'm actually gonna pre-predict that and actually switch lead ultimate to my Scizor. Very bad move because he actually leads with his Darmanitan. So I'm actually switch into my Jellicent, my Ruto, and he's going to go with the U-turn. And that is going to do a really huge chunk. So it makes me think that he definitely is banded. And he's actually going to switch into his Gengar. This Gengar, I really don't want him to do a sub and disable Pain Split. So I'm actually going to go with the Scald just in case. I am going to take that Shadow Ball, live with 25 HP, and thank you, Ruto, for being a freaking beast. And so because that live actually saved this whole game, because this Ruto does a lot this whole match. So I'm actually going to switch into my Scizor and to take the Shadow Ball, but I take the Sludge Bomb instead, which was really weird. I should have gone for the Pursuit in hindsight, but the Bullet Punch, I know it would have hit anything coming in and blah blah blah. So I'm actually going to switch into my Saria, which is my Ferrothorn, as he goes for the Swords Dance. I'm thinking here, you know what? I'm going to go for the Leech Seed. I really don't know what type of Gliscor this is. It's probably the Fling Gliscor, so he probably doesn't want to Fling on my my Ferrothorn. So he's actually switches to his Espeon. Bounces back. I'm a Grass type, so it obviously doesn't affect me. So right here, I'm actually switch into my Scizor, because if he does set up the Reflect, I mean, a U-turn is still going to do a really, really, really huge chunk. But he actually switches into his Darmanitan on the U-turn. I do get the switch advantage, which is really good for me. But this Darmanitan is really hard to take care of, because even my Scarfer is not going to do that a lot. Not going to do a lot to him. So I'm going to switch to my Terrakion. If he is banded, I should be able to outspeed. But it's really weird. I'm going to have to check the EVs and IVs on this guy. But I was sure I would outspeed him. But you know what? The superpower actually does bring an opening for me later on in the game, actually right here. So I'm going to switch my Ruto. I know he's stuck in his superpower, so I'm actually going to go for the Recover as he switches into his Latios. This Latios is a pain because it's just such huge special attack, and I'm just so used to a Spec Latios coming in, but he actually has Calm Mind, which is really weird. But I'm actually going to go for the Toxic, and this Toxic pretty much cripples this Latios staying in and doing a lot of damage, because it can't really stay in that long. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to predict the Draco Meteor or the Psychic. That's pretty much all. Or the Thunderbolt. Yeah, I can Thunderbolt. And I'm going to switch in my Saria, my Ferrothorn, just to take it. He actually does go for the Psychic. And I'm just really scared this guy does have the hidden power Fire, which would be really bad. I actually did fight this guy before, and actually his Latios had Fire Blast, but I digress. I wanted to see if he does have the Fire Blast. I mean, the hidden power Fire. Latios can't learn Fire Blast, so I'm going to switch into my Jellicent, and he actually switches into his Espeon. I'm actually going to switch into my Scizor, again, because he can't really do anything to me, as he goes for the Light Screen, and now what he's probably going to do is going to go for the Reflect. That means he has to stay in to take the Reflect, to take the U-turn. And even with Reflect up, this Choice Banded Adamant Scizor is going to do a 3/4 to him with the U-turn. And I get the switch advantage, which is really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch into my Lucario. This Lucario is just, it was just a random idea that I came up with, and I am loving what it does. It is a Scarf Lucario, even with his 90 base speed. This Scarf Lucario just does so much. It obviously outspeeds the Gengar. With their Light Screen, it does take 1, but it won't be able to take 2. So this Conkeldurr comes in. I really cannot stay in here. This Conkeldurr is a huge threat to me, and this whole part is pretty much me out-predicting him. I mean, I really want to get something residual on him, so either a Toxic or a Leech Seed. So I'm going to play some mind games with him just to switch between my Saria and my Ruto, between his Drain Punch and his Payback, and try to out-predict him. I'm going to switch back in Naruto here on his Drain Punch. I know he's going to probably just go for the Payback one more time. So, actually, no, I'm going to stay in here, go for the Toxic on his Drain Punch, predicting my switch back to my Saria, but here, I know I can take one payback, so I'm actually going to go for the Toxic here. His payback is first, so it's going to do it's going to cut the damage in half, so we'll be able to take it, but my Toxic misses again, which extremely sucks. It's really bad. So I'm actually going to switch into my Ferrothorn again, just to take the payback, but he goes for the Bulk Up, which is really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to predict his payback. No, I'm going to predict his Drain Punch, switch my Ruto on his Drain Punch, and now I'm going to predict his payback again and switch back into my Ferrothorn just to play some mind games. He actually does go for it again. So right here, I know he's going to go for the payback again. So I'm actually going to go for the Leech Seed. And with the Iron Barbs damage and the Leech Seed damage, it's going to just go rack up more and more and more. He does go for the payback, predicting my switch back in Ruto. And this Leech Seed is a huge move because now he is a lot easier to take care of. I know I can switch into my Gliscor and just completely wall this Repulsion. And because of the Leech Seed, he can't really do anything, even if he had +6 bulk ups. So the payback's not going to do jack. And hello to you too, computer. So I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake just to do some damage to the Repulsion. And hello again, computer. I'm going to mute you now. Okay, good night. So, anyways, right here he's going to switch into his Latios on my Earthquake, which is really bad but I know what I'm going to do. Right here he is Toxic, so I'm actually going to go for the Protect just to see what move he's going to do. I know I did play this guy before, and this Latios did have Surf. And actually, we were in this predicament. I did go for the Ice Fang, but he actually killed me with a Surf. So I'm actually going to predict the Surf again and switch into my Gelatin just to nom on that Surf, and it's going to bring me back to pretty good HP. So here, I'm actually going to go for the Ice Beam just because this Latios is just a pain in my butt. So I'm actually going to go for the Ice Beam on his Repulsion that comes in, and this Repulsion is just going to take it easily. I know I can take a payback here. Even I could take a +1 payback here. So, and I know he's faster than me, so the payback, excuse me, the payback will not do double the damage because he goes second. So I'm actually going to go for the Toxic on his Bulk Up, which is really bad because now he's actually +3. I'm pretty sure that +3? I'm pretty sure it's +3, but whatever. So now I'm actually going to switch into my Gliscor here, predicting either the payback or the Drain Punch, predicting my switch into Saria. So actually, no, I'm going to go into my Saria, predicting the payback, just to get a little Iron Barbs damage and to rack up the poison. So now he's going to go for the Drain Punch or payback. It doesn't really matter. And I'm actually going to switch into my Gliscor. So that's what I'm actually going to do. That's pretty much seems like the best scenario here. I'm pretty much trying to... I have to play some games with his mind just to win this because this Repulsion just wrecks my team. So I'm actually going to switch into my Gliscor, predicting the Drain Punch or the payback. He switches to his Espeon. He goes to the Morning Sun, which is really bad. Shows his Espeon does have healing moves. And this Espeon is pretty much saving his team because he does have Reflect and Light Screen. So it's not going to do that much. So right here, I'm going to have to be forced to switch into my Scizor as he goes for Morning Sun again. So we're going to have to do this over again. Only thing now, he doesn't have Light Screen up. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go for the U-turn as he goes for the Reflect. It comes back up, and that's good and bad for me. Good because I do a lot of chunk to this Espeon, and I'm actually going to switch into my Lucario again. And this is the Scarf Lucario. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. Even if he does bring his Repulsion is extremely low, and it's toxic. But I really do not want to take a Mach Punch, because Mach Punch probably will kill, because I am a Steel type. And he has Guts Boost, and it's stabbed, and all that jazz. So right here, I'm actually going to predict Mach Punch and go into my Gliscor, as he actually goes for the payback. Because of the switch, it's going to cut the damage in half. Not going to do a lot, so I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake, because I want this Repulsion dead. I know the Toxic will be able to take him out. I know he's probably going to go predict my Protect and switch into his Latios, but I just need to go for the Earthquake as he switches into his Latios. And now, from the moves before, I'm actually going to predict him to go for the Calm Mind, predicting my Protect. So I'm actually going to go for the Ice Fang. He does go for the Calm Mind, which is really good because I do go for the Ice Fang. But then I remember that he has the Reflect up, so it's not going to do jack. But it does a little chunk, enough to where the Toxic is going to whittle him down a little more. So I know this Latios has one more attack left in him, so I'm going to go for the Protect as he actually switches into his Gliscor. This Gliscor is another huge threat to my team because this is a purely offensive Gliscor opposed to my purely defensive Gliscor. So I'm actually going to switch into Ruto just to hopefully go for the Ice Beam and take this guy out. He goes for the Swords Dance, and I know he probably has the Fling. So I'm actually going to switch into my Saria because I don't want my Ruto Toxic at this point because I do have one more need for him. As right now he goes to go for the Toxic Orb Fling. It's not going to do a lot, and it's not going to poison my Saria. The Reflect is luckily worn off, and now he's going to go for the Acrobatics. It does do Iron Barb damage, and I'm going to go for this, what is it called? The Leech Seed. Just to give my Saria a little more HP. And I could switch into my Gliscor and hopefully take this guy out with the Ice Fang. So the Lead Seed and my leftovers is going to bring me to a pretty good HP. And so now I'm going to switch into my Gliscor, my purely defensive Gliscor. And this Acrobatics does a lot. Like a lot. To my purely defensive Gliscor, which really sucks. But with the Lead Seed, I know I will be able to take at least one more. And I thought he would predict my Protect here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go for the Ice Fang. He actually goes for the Acrobatics. I thought he would go for the Swords Dance. So that's why I went for the Ice Fang here. It's not going to do a lot because of my purely defensive. And I have literally 0 attack EVs. So what I'm actually going to do here, the Leech Seed, is going to bring me to a pretty good HP. But I want more. I'm going to go for the Protect. Just to be able to hopefully come in later, take an attack, and be able to be at decent HP. And I know if I come in later and I stall for one turn or protect for one more turn, I'll be at little over half. So that's really good for me. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to switch into my Saria just as Death Fodder, and is going to bring him lower with the Iron Barb's damage. It's going to pretty much neutralize his Toxic Heal. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to switch into my Lucario. My Lucario does have Hidden Power Ice. So hopefully I will be able to outspeed him, which I do. And this Hidden Power Ice will be able to take this Gliscor out because 4 times effective. And it goes down. So the only really threat he does have now is his Darmanitan. Just because it's a late game sweeper. It does have pretty good speed. And it's just extremely powerful. He's actually going to go for the Stone Edge, predicting... I don't even know what he was predicting, but whatever. The Stone Edge misses, and now I'm going to go for the Earthquake as he switches into his Kitty. I'm pretty sure he predicted the Protect, but that was a really good misprediction on his, really bad misprediction on his part because his Kitty dies. So all he has left is Darmanitan, Rapution, and his Latios, which the Rapution and Latios are really low, and this Darmanitan is pretty much at full HP, but he does go for the Flare Blitz. Pretty much shows me that he's just trying to go all out and try to kill everything. So try to get a late game sweep with this Darmanitan. But now I'm going to bring my Ruto just because, one, I know I have a lot of HP, so if he does 2-hit KO me, he's going to do a lot of recoil. This banded Darmanitan is just going to easily wreck this guy. So it's going to be a 2-hit KO, but that's really good for me because now I could just switch into my Lucario, my Scarf Lucario. If that doesn't late game sweep, I know my Scizor will. So it's one for 2. I do have my Gliscor still, so I still have a pretty good Pokemon left. But this the Aura Sphere is not going to be able to take him out, so I will die to a Flare Blitz. But the recoil will be able to take him out. So I'm going to bring out my last guy, which is my Scizor. No, my last guy. I have Gliscor still, but he's going to bring out his Conkeldurr. I'm going to switch out into my Scizor. I'm going to go for the Bullet Punch. Only thing I really could hope for here is the crit, but the Bullet Punch is going to easily take out this Rapution. Even the crit wouldn't have killed me, but you know what, whatever. So now he's going to switch to Latios, which will die to a Bullet Punch. So let's get a very, very, very good game, Biohazard. So hope you guys liked the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. And as always, guys, stay classy.